Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2010 Porsche 911 Sport Classic. Now this is part of the 997 generation of the 911 that was produced between 2004 and 2013. This version was introduced in 2010, lasting into 2011, with only 250 units being made, making this an extremely limited production run. And yeah, it's inspired by the 1973 Carrera RS 2.7. Which basically means it's going back to basics for the 911. So no turbochargers on this, no all-wheel drive system on this, and yeah, that's accentuated even more by the fact that it's got a ducktail spoiler at the rear, just like that Carrera RS. It's also got wider rear fenders, a lower sport suspension setup, down by 20mm. It's got an exclusive set of 19-inch wheels. It's got a mechanical rear diff, ceramic brakes, a double dome roof, so you have space for your helmets, and yeah, stripe decals all the way along the car. So yeah, back to basics approach, but not one that is with devoid of any kind of luxury or additional elements that are modern. So yeah, it's still got rear seats in the back with plenty of room. Not a fan of this interior colour. It is the only interior colour I think that you could get with this car, and I really don't like it. I know it's a car inspired by a 70s car, but that does not mean you need a 70s style colour. And yeah, it just reminds me of old Morris Marinas or anything like that, with brown interior and brown steering wheel and brown everything else. It just does not look nice whatsoever. But the rest of the interior is nice enough. You've got a nice 6-speed manual gearbox. And yeah, nice bits of metal here and there, and obviously it's all going to be well trimmed, but yeah, just not a fan of that colour whatsoever. And yeah, you also have your typical frunk going on with the 911, nice deep one there, so decent amount of storage space there. And yeah, the engine though is where this car impresses us most, because it's got a naturally aspirated 3.8 litre flat 6 engine, producing 408 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Now granted, Porsche since this have done more powerful flat sixes with no turbocharging, but yeah, this for a 12-year-old car is not half bad. And yeah, because it only weighs 3,261 pounds, it's not got much in the way of weight to lug around either. So yeah, we've not had this car on a Forza game since Forza Motorsport 4, and even then it wasn't available. It was only available once before that on Forza Motorsport 3. So yeah, really glad this has made a return to the game via the car pass. So yeah, nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what this car can do. So yeah, straight line speed with this car is barely in the top 3 kind of priorities for this car. I'd say nostalgia and handling are more focused on than straight line speed. But let's see what it can do on this drag strip first before we hit the track. So yeah, let's see what it can do. So yeah, 408 horsepower is a fair decent amount from a naturally aspirated flat 6 engine. Obviously, it's not the the best kind of power you can get from an engine like this. We've seen, like I said earlier, far more powerful flat 6s from Porsche since, and yeah, 132 mile an hour is far from the quickest that we've been down that straight, but yeah, for a 12-year-old car that is more about, like I said, nostalgia and handling, it's still a decent amount of power, and still no slouch in terms of acceleration, as you'll see once we get onto the track. But yeah, really do like the way that this has gone for a more back to basics approach, even though obviously there are still some modern technology advancements going on. The ceramic brakes definitely a bonus, meaning that you've not only got lack of weight, but you've also got really good brakes to slow you down as well. But yeah, still definitely a back to basics approach. Like I said, no all-wheel drive system, no turbocharging, only a mechanical diff, no electronic diff there whatsoever. And yeah, I do like the look of it as well, with that ducktail spoiler and those 19-inch wheels. So yeah, mid A class. And yeah, really good stats as well. 7 speed, 6.3 handling, 6.2 braking are pretty damn good. 6.2 acceleration is decent, although the numbers do suggest better than that. Launch isn't the greatest, which surprises me given that you've got the engine on the rear there, which should give you additional grip, but yeah, for whatever reason it's not the best off the line. So yeah, but still, it's hardly a slouch, like I said, in terms of acceleration, and the launch does not really hinder the acceleration times that it's got going on. So yeah, let's see what it's going to be able to do on the track. Let's get going. I don't see why it's as low in the launch as it is, but yeah, I still feel it's decent enough off the line. So yeah, I'm just going to let you listen to the car for a little bit, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, it's a solid sounding engine. It's not my favourite by any means that Porsche have done, but it's still a good engine nonetheless in terms of noise and power delivery. And yeah, acceleration wise, it can do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, 0 to 100 in 9.7 seconds, and despite just over having just over 400 horsepower, it can do 191 miles an hour at the top end, which is really rather good. I also like the gear ratios. They're yeah, pretty damn good. But yeah, like I said, top priority for this is definitely handling, because it grips and grips and grips, but it still has some of the classic Porsche handling characteristics, so it can be quite easy to have the rear step out because you've got that massive engine at the rear. And yeah, there can be also times when there's a bit of understeer as well, but when you're at the sweet spot between, you know, understeer and the oversteer, it really is a good handling car, and a really fun handling car as well, which is probably why it's one of my favourites, if not my absolute favourite modern 911. I say modern in air quotes there, because obviously it is still 12 years old now, but you know, it brought the 911s into the 2010s in really fine style, and yeah, it's just a shame really that it's as limited in production as it was, because yeah, 250 units is nothing compared to the you know, the general sales of the 997, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame that not more of these were made, but I guess that's going to be a part of the appeal of this car, is its rarity. But still, yeah, really glad it's now in this game. Been a long time since we've had it, well over a decade, and yeah, I'm just glad it's back in the game. And yeah, I've always said that I don't mind returning cars to this game or other Forza games as long as it's a car that we've not had for a while. And yeah, this is a perfect example of this, because like I said, I had it since Forza Motorsport 4, and that came out a hell of a long time ago, but there's still plenty of cars from that game that we really should have in this game or other Forza games, quite frankly, because yeah, that game had a huge variety of vehicles, and yeah, several of them have still never had a second chance. So yeah, but still glad this has had a third chance. But yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching. Hope you were enjoying the car pass if you've got it now, but if you still haven't, then yeah, I really don't know what else is going to convince you, quite frankly. But yeah, this is a part of the new update, and yeah, the first car in that new update, first of 4 cars that we have to look forward to in this month. But yeah, still, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.